Welcome to Coach Nick's Purposefully Fit podcast. Coach Nick is here to inspire, motivate, and encourage you on your journey toward being purposefully fit. Be sure to visit our website at www.iamnicke.com. That's www.iamnicke.com. Get ready to be purposefully fit with Coach Nick.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your favorite coach, Coach Nick E, and we're back talking about resistant projection. If you missed the first 2 episodes, no worries. Go back and listen to those. We talked about cancel the complaint and how we have to stop accepting the projection of other people's complaining spirits and need to make sure we aren't projecting our complaints onto others. Last week, we dived into past the fear and learned that fear is merely aware of the potential, y'all, just the potential of danger, and will manifest in our bodies as a strong emotion that is often negative. So we have to resist the projection and pass the fear to God so that we can passionately pursue our purpose. I know you are probably like, Coach Nick, why do you keep saying we? Are you French or something today? No, I'm saying we because I too need to resist the projection in all of these areas. We are in this together, and I'm not saying nothing to you that I don't need to. All right? Now today, we are continuing with resist the projection, deflect the insecurity. Last year, I decided to move on from my job in the shipbuilding industry. After nearly 6 years and 3 different positions, a globally recognized certification, a host of experience, and dynamic connections, I was ready to jump ship. Pun totally intended, y'all. I began sharing with others I was ready for a change, and I received different responses. When I told my husband I needed something different, he told me to pray about it and apply. I love his projection of faith that typically tells me just go for it. Then there were others who told me to apply where I was in the shipbuilding industry, and maybe there was something there for me. Some people talked about how starting over was so scary, and at least I was in an environment where I knew the people. These responses were projections of insecurities about how they felt about starting over and trying something new. They had nothing to do with the God in me or the possibility of doing something great in a new environment. I truly believe that they all meant well. However, how many times have you shared your excitement or your vision with someone just for them to infuse it with insecurity, and you walk away second guessing the very thing that just had you doing a 2-step with joy? Anybody? Okay. Let's resist the projection. Deflect the insecurity. Insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself or lack of confidence. In this ever-changing world, social media filters, reality TV, and more, it's easy to feel unsure about oneself. You wake up feeling like $1 million only to click on social media and question your self-esteem. You go to work and get tasked with a new assignment only to wonder if you're good enough. You are assigned a new role in ministry only to be filled with anxiety about whether you are able to lead or serve in this capacity. These are just a few examples of what insecurity looks like. However, I am sure you have your own. If we are not careful, insecurities are flying around in our heads all by themselves and don't need any help, y'all. They grow as we begin comparing ourselves in progress or lack thereof to other people around us. Some of us don't even realize we are doing it, but we are. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not handsome or pretty enough. Maybe I don't have enough money. Maybe I'm too old or too young. Maybe I don't have enough education. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm going to step out on a limb and say at some point or another, everyone has experienced a moment of insecurity all by ourselves. We didn't need anybody help. Now, if you take that and multiply that by a gajillion, when we start engaging in conversation with other people or reading people's posts, watching the news, and even listening to the radio, the projection of insecurity becomes magnified. People are throwing their uncertainty and anxiety all over the place, and it's being displayed on you. You shout, "I'm starting a business," only for someone to say, "Are you sure you want to do that? Starting a business is hard, and I heard that you don't even really make money for the first few years." They infuse insecurity. You shout, "I'm called to preach," only for someone to say, "How do you know? You see how many preachers are stressed out?" You shout, "I'm buying a house," only for someone to say, "Do you see those interest rates? I wouldn't buy right now. I would just wait." And the list goes on. I know you have tons of examples of people projecting insecurities on others, and you can see the very light being drained from the person who just proclaimed their vision with excitement, but now they shrinking back, all because they accepted the projection of someone else's insecurity. It's time to resist the projection and deflect the insecurity. Deflect means to cause something to change direction by interposing something or to cause to deviate from an intended purpose. Now, y'all, I got really excited off of this because interposing means to place or insert between one thing and another. Because when you put something in place or between it, it can cause it to deviate. Now, here are a few practical tips on how to deflect the insecurity. 1, you need to allow God to be placed or inserted into your heart and your mind so that it causes the feeling and spirit of insecurity to deviate from its intended purpose, which was to kill, steal, and destroy your joy, your peace of mind, your visions, and your dreams. John 10:10 says, "The thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that you may have life and have it to the full." Other versions say, "Have it more abundantly." Insecurities do not come from God. However, Satan will use insecurities as a tool to carry out his purpose, which is to steal, kill, and destroy. Because as long as you lack confidence and feel anxious, you won't do what God has called you to. But Jesus, this is the good news, y'all. Jesus came to give you life, and not just a mediocre life, but one that is full. So spend time developing a personal relationship with Christ so you can increase your confidence muscle. Second, rewrite the narrative that is on your heart and in your mind. Through time with Jesus and my therapist, I've learned that the feeling of insecurity I would feel actually started because of seeds of insecurity that were sown all throughout my life. These were little projections of insecurity that ended up embedding themselves onto my mind and in my heart. And the way to deflect those insecurities was by rewriting the narrative by declaring God's word over myself daily. Proverbs 3:26 says, "For the Lord shall be thy confidence." 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." 1 John 5:14 says, "And this is the confidence that we have towards him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us." I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting like confidence boosted. Romans 8:37 says, "No, in all things we are more than conquerors through him who loves us." Now, third, you have to surround yourself with people of faith. Talk to people who will project their faith on you, so when your faith is a little weak, they can let you borrow some of theirs. Have you ever been around someone who was just oozing faith, and you go from, "I don't know if I can do this," to, "Yeah, let's take over the world"? I know I have. Those spirits are so contagious, and we truly need more people like them. Take time to check who you are in relationship with. Are you around a host of insecure, complaining, fearful people, or are you surrounded by a lot of faith? Repeat after me. Deflect the insecurity. One more time. Deflect the insecurity. Stop accepting everything everyone says to and about you. It's easier said than done, but when you deflect the insecurity and allow God to come between you and the lies that have been spoken to you, then you can do it. Some people's insecurities may seem real and feel valid to them, but they don't have to become yours. Deflect the insecurity. Now let's go back to my story. I decided to apply to that job that was forwarded to me by my cousin. I never heard of this company. I did a little research and I applied. I sat on 3 different interviews. I actually received a rejection email. It was like, thank you, no thank you, only to receive a call a few days later and ask me if I still wanted the job. Y'all know I said yes. Now fast forward 17 months later, I love where I am. I'm learning a lot. I am boldly and confidently walking in my God-ordained giftings. Everything I needed to get started was already inside of me. I was in this new industry. I was the new kid on the block. And while I did not know all of their ways of working, I knew one thing. I knew I could learn. Because I resisted the projection and deflected the insecurity of other people, I've been able to experience God's exponential favor in ways I never could imagine, y'all. It's such an amazing testimony. I'll have to tell you that later. There are blessings waiting for you, but you won't obtain them if you accept the insecurity of others, or even if you project your insecurities onto others. So be intentional to deflect the insecurity and learn to project the faith. All right, I'm out.
You have been listening to the Purposefully Fit podcast with Coach Nick. Visit her on the web at www.iamnicke.com. Spread the word to help others get purposefully fit by subscribing to this podcast. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Purposefully Fit podcast with Coach Nick.